From the studios of TNT, this is the good, the bad, and ugly.
Let's roll the dice. Aphia.
Helen.
Amma. Introducing the host for tonight, Aphia,
The bad.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another edition of The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly. I'm here in the studios with Amma and Helen.
Hi.
Thank God it's Friday. We are excited. We are going for the weekend. I hear it's a long weekend.
one,
I hear
yeah.
Monday is a holiday too.
Really?
Yes, you didn't know?
No.
Oh, Monday is a holiday, but you have to come to work. Hello?
No, then we are not doing newspaper review.
We
We're
are
just going to do
because-
random conversation.
Because newspapers don't go on holidays.
No.
The stories will be coming.
Please go on
There are
holidays.
too many issues in this country. We are going for a quick break. When we come back, we are going straight to our stories. Stay tuned. Welcome back. On my right is the good Amma. And on my left is Helen.
I'm filling up your
The
seat
ugly.
of ugliness. Ugliness.
And I am bad, your host, Aphia. Let's go straight to our stories. To Ghanaian Times, guard against wasteful spending. President tells African governments. Let's read from page 17. The president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has challenged African countries to guard against wasteful spending as the continent strives to mobilize revenue to drive its socio-economic transformation and achieve the African Beyond Aid dream. This African Beyond Aid dream, it's becoming a real dream. Amma, the president is advising all African presidents to stop wasting.
Yeah, he has to. He needs to. In fact, yeah,
Why just African presidents anyway?
they are the people around us. So he cannot advise European presidents or...
He can. Or maybe African presidents are wasteful. Maybe that's how he sees it.
The truth, there's some truth in there because if there's one thing that Africa does better than anything else, it's wasteful spending. We waste money. We spend unnecessarily. I'll give you an example. You know, these travels by government officials, not only do they, look for unnecessary conferences to attend, sometimes some of these national service personnel, their main task is to look for conferences abroad, here and there, and all of that. Just one person can be given that assignment to be looking for conferences. Oh, why is but they just want to pretend as if they are working to help the country. And they go in style. Yeah.
What style means what?
Business class, probably.
Okay.
Meanwhile, in other countries or people who even work for the UN, when they are traveling to anywhere else, they use the economy.
True.
We are here, we see that we don't have electricity, there are no good roads, people don't have potable water to drink, yet our officials are riding in V8s.
Well, but if they are doing what they are supposed to do, because if you work, you are supposed to get paid and you are supposed to be given certain things. So as for
certain
the
things
V8
to help you.
and all
A
that,
car
it helps
is just
them
to help
move.
you move.
No, but
so
you
even
can't
a
just give them
bicycle
any
or
car.
a tricycle can
Because
even
of our
move two or three
roads.
people.
No, because of our roads, you can't just
So
give
what
them
about
any car. Their roads are very good. Their roads are very good, so
So
they can
were we
get
not in this
comfortable on
country when
bicycles.
a sitting MP decided to sit on bicycle to the Parliament House?
Well, that's I
So
call
do
that,
ye,
I
Otina so
call
no
that
do
a
ye.
show off.
It's not a show off. This
Because
is something
on-
that they can do. Go to the Netherlands and
no,
other
he
things.
wouldn't do
Officials
it.
ride bicycles
I
to
ag-
their workplaces.
I agree
What are you saying?
totally, but I'm just saying, in our part of the world, because of the roads, and you want to get
Even
you want the person
astronauts
to
who
get-
contribute to the world and their countries, they
Let
even
me
use
just go
economy.
to Helen.
How much you charge business class? How
Amma
much?
is all heated up, even though she's on a good seat.
From what Amma is saying, it looks like today we are both going to be a little ugly on this particular topic. But first, let me comment about the bicycle issue. Here, even when pedestrians are on the pedestrian walk, cars can knock them down. How much more bicycle? Drivers
no,
here in
no,
this
no,
country
no,
don't
no.
even
It's
term
a matter of regulation.
cycling as parts of. I mean, they have the right to be on the road.
Too much lawlessness.
They don't
I
have the
agree
right
with
to be on
you.
the road, so they don't allow them. So it's not safe until we fix our roads. We fix
It's not
our
safe. So if
system
1,000
here,
of us are riding
it's
the
not easy for a
bicycle, where will
parliamentarian
the
to ride on
cars
a
knock us
bicycle.
down?
To
How?
if our roads are
It doesn't
good,
have
he
to
will.
do with the
It's an
bicycle.
exercise.
It has to do with the people driving the cars.
So that is
attitude of
another
the Ghanaian.
policy decision. Don't just bring it into this one.
Let me just listen to Helen, because
For
if
me,
I concentrate on you, she's not
I've
gonna-
put some points down here that I'm just going to be reading from my pointers because this is like a serious issue right here. For me, this is just one.
Don't mind. Don't just mind Amma. Amma is using your time. She keeps doing this to you, and you keep
Tricking me with that
Yeah.
infectious smile. So this is one unnecessary conference that people just wake up and then they go to. I mean, you're talking about officials traveling on a business class, and yet they return to their countries and they cannot even write a report about the reason why they
Even
traveled in the
board
first
members
place.
travel. Meanwhile, they don't play any role there. Board
And they
members.
cannot come up with a report. You've been paid first class tickets. Okay, go on assignment, go on conference. Now you have returned. Every company or every manager, you at the end of the week or at the end of the day, you write a report.
Yeah.
Do they come back with any reports? So before this president will stand up and be preaching about about
going
countries
all
wasteful
extreme
spending,
to Africans.
you know,
I think he should concentrate on what happens in his
as we are,
territory.
exactly as we are talking now. There's a flight full of people in Kotoka traveling for, and even the numbers are higher than the required
Those who
purpose
even
of their
paid
travel.
their own monies to travel are even
And this
less.
is under it's with the taxpayers' money. So if he's talking, he should look into within his own circle before he goes to the Beyond Aid, Ghana or Africa Beyond Aid. Before Africa will get to Africa Beyond Aid, or even Ghana get Beyond Aid. I like the vision, the idea of Ghana Beyond Aid, but it's a dream. You don't just
It's
wake
not a
up.
dream, my
It's
dear.
a dream. It's okay.
And it
Let's
is
say
really
it's
good
his,
to
it's his
dream.
vision. Let's say it's
Dreams
his
are
vision.
possible.
It's his vision.
Dreams are
Fine.
possibilities.
It's his vision.
VNT, possibilities.
But you need to lay
need
the
to dream.
foundation before.
That is what Akufo-Addo's government is doing.
I'm just even listening to Amma
He's
right now. I
laying
can't
down
hear.
the foundations so that we can win
I'm forced
ourselves
to
from all
listen to
these. Yeah, you have to. You know. Have you noticed, like,
No, I'm going
now
to forget what I
everywhere
wanted
you go,
to
you
say.
hear-
Effie, I'm going to forget what I wanted to say.
You people can't just be throwing me all over the place like that.
See,
Continue.
let me finish. See, it's like it's a dream. It's like telling your parents, "Mommy, I'm going to move out of the house." Well, you haven't even gotten an apartment yet.
You've not
And
even
you're
thought
you're
of the
announcing you
area.
want to move out.
You've not even thought of the area you are
Yeah,
going
you don't even know. You don't even know the rates you're going for.
Some of us have been dreaming
So you
of
cannot
Tasako
just
since.
yes.
So if you are
Ghana
moving, we
Beyond
know
Aid.
where we are
It's a
moving
big
to.
dream. It's a big vision. But lay the foundation first before you start talking about it, because we are
No,
not there
no,
yet.
no.
Before Africa
We
will
can
even
talk
get
about
Beyond
it.
Aid, we have a lot of work to do.
And that's what we are doing. The government is not just talking about the Ghana
Amma,
Beyond
what are
Aid.
some of the works you people are doing that's going to make this whole dream become real?
Like there, since the Akufo-Addo came, there's been a lot of reforms. A lot of it, to the extent that now everywhere you go, you hear about Ghana, you know, relevant, you know, continental gatherings are even organized in Ghana here. Because you be bikoye. And the rest of the continents are beginning to see Ghana as a great nation once again since Nkrumah's time and, Kofosu Yebikakra. But now it is refreshing that, you see, when he talks, Akufo-Addo doesn't just center his words around Ghana. He talks to the whole of Africa. So this headline we are seeing here, it's another headline in Zimbabwe, the same headline in South Africa, the same headline in Nigeria, because we are doing something well. And I like the fact that the president is reminding the Bretton Woods institution that this Ghana or Africa Beyond Aid doesn't mean we are cutting ties right away. As she said, if I say Ghana Beyond Aid, it's a vision. It's a vision, and it has some long-term process. But the thing is, it is good to conscientize the people and say that this is where we are going. Do you think that if
your 1 minute is up, right?
It's not up, my dear. Give me 30 seconds. Do you think that if God or Moses had not told the Israelites that we are going to the land of promise, the land of honey and milk, you need to know your destination, although it's going to take you 40 years to get there? And that is the Akufo-Addo, the man of vision. He's telling us that Ghana Beyond Aid, and he's working it and saying that we will get there.
Aphia,
but we are not cutting ties with
when Moses was told we are going to the land of honey and milk, as she is saying, Moses was there to the end. You get it? We got to the land with Moses. We don't know us and now. So come up with your submission.
Ghana Beyond Aid. Okay. Aphia, do you think that Ghana and Africa is halfway towards Beyond Aid agenda?
No, not even quarter way.
Former, what do you call them? Former officials took double salaries. They are still walking around freely. What has he done about them? So excuse us, Mr. President, please come again.
We are this whole.
What you people don't
they're
know?
still working around. They took double salary.
A lot of things are going on behind the scenes. When we are through, just trust the process.
If you remember when Monday we were discussing about this
exactly what I'm bringing up,
how we spent in this country, we spent too much. We will not come down to the level of saying, okay, the fact that they've bought me a first class ticket. Let me now go for first class. Let me go for business.
No, we were here in this country when the finance minister decided to use his old Benz.
Amma, I'm done with you.
He didn't use.
You've had enough time.
How many people are doing that?
Finish with yours.
How many people are doing that?
Me, I can
so
do that.
For me, I think the president should just look within his circle, look within his camp, look within his governance, because there's a lot of loopholes. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. You can't just wake up and say, look, maybe that the Ghana Beyond Aid is an individual vision for him. Others are not seeing it. Others within the circle are not seeing it.
I agree
because
with
they
believe
for everyone.
it.
Is it not Akufo-Addo who is instituting
I
that?
agree
Why is
on.
he promising dead and gone?
Amma,
if they believe in it,
I agree with Helen on this one. Please,
I agree with
Mr.
myself.
President. Mr. President, if this whole Ghana Beyond Aid dream is going to come into reality, then we have to check our own system, because the monies these politicians and these leaders go out there and spend is just way too much. If those things can be cut down, then we can start thinking about Ghana and Africa as a whole. We go for a quick break. When we come back, we are going to our next story. It's in the Daily Graphic. Government chases $190 million compact funds. Stay tuned.
Hello, my name is Kofi Opon Ochre, and I bring you NASA on DNT, a program designed to expose corruption and indiscipline in our society and advocate for the punishment of these offenders whose activities impede national development. The National Road Safety Commission indicates that Ghana loses $230 million to road accident, with over 1,600 deaths recorded every year. In 2018, Shraj report indicated that Ghana loses 13.5 billion Ghana cedis to corruption. And United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF has also stated that Ghana loses $290 million to poor sanitation alone. This is not right. So make a date with me, and together let's name and shame the offenders of the law. NASA, see something, say something.
Welcome back. We are going straight to the Daily Graphic, as I said. Government chases $190 million compact funds. The government is still taking steps to secure the second tranche of $190 million compact funds from the American government in spite of the suspension of a concessionaire agreement with Power Distribution Services PDS for alleged contract breaches, offering the power distribution arm of the Electricity Company of Ghana (ECG) to a private sector company to manage on concession was a condition precedent for the full implementation of Ghana's Power Compact with the Millennium Challenge Corporation (MCC) of the United States of America. The government chases 190 million compact funds.
We have to chase.
He's still chasing that money.
We need money.
Why would he?
Everybody needs money.
Yes, we need
Whether
money, but
governments or
why is he
individuals.
chasing the 190 million for the same thing? That's this same contract that was called to a halt a few days ago because of issues surrounding it. So why is he still chasing the money for what? What are we coming to use it for?
Oh, a lot of things. Once the money lands,
The
we have
thing
a lot
itself,
of
there,
issues.
there are
to
issues
use.
surrounding the
So
whole.
we'll look into all the issues, and
Okay.
due diligence will be done, and then we'll get the money. But after reading into detail, reading about this compact funds, it looks like this whole thing had been going on for more than 15 years. Starting from the Kufuor's administration. Somewhere 2000, the United Nations came up with some Millennium Challenge goals, where they were set to give out some free monies. But then they had a checklist where you had to meet about 17 items. So once you are checked through all of that and you meet it, you are giving some money somewhere to go and develop your country. In 2004, Kufuor or Ghana was called in to come for some of these monies. So when we went, we were able to meet all those things on the checklist. And Kufuor was giving some monies, rounding up to about $547 million US. And out of this money, we got the N1. We were able to build the N1 trench, and some of the monies were used for other things because at the time we were under HIPIC and we couldn't go borrowing. So we were giving some of these monies from the Millennium Challenge, whatever. Now, the first trench was used for the, which was the 547 million, which it was received and probably used to build the N1, as I said. But viewers should know that this money is a grant that the American government has set under, Millennium Challenge Fund to give to African governments. This is not a loan. This is free money for African countries. Okay. When you are able to meet the conditions, inflation, BBI is stable, and all of that. That is all. We are not going for loan that will burden.
They are going for the money and spend it because it's free money. And
no, when I say free, it means that we are not paying back. That is what it means.
When you meet their threshold, right?
Threshold me those checklists I said.
Yeah,
so if your economy is doing well, so fortunately, when MPP was in power, Kufuor's era, you're free. Hello, Mr. Kufuor, how are you doing today? So Kufuor buy, I'll say, N1, any George Bush, and not any Dintos. So this one, we'll go for the money. Near ye Kumasi to Accra or Tamale, any Donald Trump, Nedash. So we are going for the monies. NDC will keep talking because they don't qualify for anything. They don't have the men, they don't have the, they don't know you don't have the technical know-how to even look through some of these things and get certain things for us for free. A cardinal no munimbo.
Oh my God,
it's hilarious.
People should be ready for Donald Trump.
Railway. The World Bank.
Railway, no. Yeah, Donald Trump railway.
Railway.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, really.
Yeah.
It appears that the World Bank and IFC folks have some hidden agenda. Because then, notice that the Millennium Challenge program is an American-based program that seeks that when you meet their governance threshold, then they will unleash some free
money.
It's not free. That's why the hidden agenda comes in, because I don't believe it's free money.
It's
There's
free.
really nothing like
Any money
they
they
are
are not
gaining
paying
something.
back.
This is America. They are gaining
No, they
something.
don't.
They
Let me
have a
tell
hidden
you what the
agenda.
hidden thing is.
They
Let
have a
me tell
hidden
you.
agenda.
The
Because
hidden
which country will
agenda
just
is
wake up
that
and say, meet your threshold, meet your qualification, meet your
exactly.
Like, why?
We are giving you some
Because Africa,
requirements
you
and
can't take care of
I'll
yourself
money
as
and I'll
well.
give you money. It's like we are
without taking
selling
anything. They are always coming to
It's like,
take our
give me gold,
resources.
I'll give
and
you money. Give me gold,
No,
I'll
no,
give you
no.
money.
This
That's
one
what
is
is
not
going
like
on.
that.
This
The
could be
thing
that
is
they
that
rather
they
see
know very well that you people always come back and
Yeah.
beg for monies.
And
They
we
are
are
telling
just-
you that when you mess up your economy, you still come back to them. So they are putting these things. It's just like telling your son that
Aphia,
this is a
it's like
bigger-
they
Do what
always
you're supposed to do.
whole
When I'm
idea
coming
is
back from
always
town,
having
I'll get you this.
Africans running to them for aid.
Them
That's the position they want to put us. And if they put us in such position
You
and we are
put
not
yourself
careful,
in that position.
they
Africans
will control
decided
your
to put
affairs.
themselves in that
Of course.
Exactly, they
They
will control
tie
your
you to
affairs.
some corner
No.
and you can't
No.
do anything about
Yeah.
it. This is a bigger number one.
Oh, I agree. Legalize gayism.
this is
It
just-
will give you $20 billion.
Exactly. They have something up
They
their
always-
sleeves. You
yes,
think somebody
that's the
gives you
hidden
money.
agenda.
They are just
Why
preparing
you
you for
people
something big. They are going
processing
to
this
hit
whole
you
thing
with.
as NDC. The way your mind
No,
is
we are not
working is
processing,
just
but
like
you know,
Mahama.
why do we keep going back? You see, you are singing this
You
song
see-
about free Ghana Beyond Aid, and you are still going back to collect money from these people. Really?
Yes, really.
Ah.
On
So
the
if I
real
call you to
note,
come for $1,000,
Amma,
you won't
we
come
are
for it.
done.
On what basis?
Please.
Did I work for
That's
you?
your my
We'll go
friend.
for a quick break because I can't deal with
collect.
these two. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we are going straight to the Daily Guide.
Hello, my name is Jermaine Nkrumah. For decades, leaders in Ghana have been complaining about brain drain, referring to the mass exodus of Ghanaians from home to foreign lands. Lately, however, that brain drain has actually evolved into what many refer to as brain gain. In other words, Ghanaians all over the world are ready to come home with their newly acquired skills to help with national development. In fact, here at DNT, we insist that there's nothing that Ghana needs done towards her development that she cannot find a Ghanaian to do, be they at home or somewhere in foreign lands. The question is there a role for Ghanaians in the diaspora to play towards Ghana's development? Furthermore, what are the measures in place to make it possible and easy for Ghanaians abroad to come home to help with national development? Join me every Saturday at 9 a.m. as I engage Ghanaians at home and abroad to deal with topical and relevant issues regarding how Ghanaians abroad get to participate in nation building at home. My name is Jermaine Nkrumah, and this is Diaspora Weekly.
Don't mind them. Please forgive us. They said they were going to do this. You're just teasing us in the studio. We are going straight to Daily Guide. Has to roll up MPP NDC fight over PDS scandal. This thing has been ongoing for some time now.
I don't understand
The
this
PDS issue.
The heads will roll. Those calling for the heads to roll, they should be careful because it will roll and roll into other places.
Please, you can find a story in page 3. The suspension of the Power Distribution Service, PDS, power concession agreement by the government has started a big fight between the ruling New Patriotic Party, NPP, and the opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC, over who should be held responsible. Minister of Information Kojo Oponkroma yesterday held a news conference in Accra in the presence of Energy Minister John Peter Amewu to set the record straight on the matters arising. He said the government would complete full-scale inquiry into what he called detected breaches by PDS within a month. the government says he will get to the bottom of this within a month.
Sharp.
Amma, this PDS issue that's going on these days, like the minority is talking about MPP agreeing to this contract when they had to go through all the contracts and be sure of what they are doing. They are making, the minority is making a big issue out of it. But I heard this whole thing started with the NDC government.
Yeah, it did.
It did started with them.
It did.
It did start with them.
It did start with them because these guys, you know, during the Mahama administration, we were having a lot of power challenges here and there.
Yes,
and they were, yeah, we needed money to resolve some of these things, and they were even thinking of privatizing ECG.
Yes, I heard that.
So this whole process started during the NDC
government.
But the good news is that they are calling for heads to roll here and there. Yeah, but there must be some investigation. Before those heads will roll, we need to conduct proper investigation to know who and whose head should roll. So just as the Minister for Information, Kojo Ponkroma, said, he announced that the investigation would be concluded within 30 days. So we should just hold on and then wait.
I doubt anyway, but
it would work. But it would just go through. So my problem is this. This whole project, as I said, began under the NPP, the Mahama administration. So they appointed the IFS, which is an arm of the World Bank, as transaction advisors. And then, okay, so they want to tell us that the World Bank did not do, or the IFS did not do what the due diligence, what they were supposed to do and all of that. And they didn't find anything wrong, you know, recommending the hiring of PDS as at the time. And these guys, you know, PDS and their consortiums, some members of which didn't even have, you know, Ghana offices. They didn't have office locations within Ghana at the time. But then your advisors decided that go ahead and, you know, hire PDS. So it took the side of Ghana under the NPP government, to discover the anomalies leading to this suspension. Because when they came, a lot of work was, you know, underway, being done. They needed to just let things go because this was power issue. But they knew that NDC for even if the IFS, the American side, were doing what they were supposed to do, NPP knowing NDC, they needed to do some checks.
Background check.
So it doesn't matter how long the contracts went on. We should just appreciate the fact that something started, we had seen the wrongs, and we've suspended the whole contract.
So if I get you right, you're trying to say they agreed to the contract and decided to go and do their checks after agreeing to it.
Exactly. It's like
Why
government.
wouldn't
No,
you?
it was
No,
the
but why
agreement was
wouldn't you?
between
How?
government of Ghana. It's like government doka. Into Obama into but it's what who say can
Yes, before you pay the money.
before it accumulates.
But this is a situation whereby you've given the go ahead. Yes, we agree. Do what you are supposed to do.
Someone.
And
no,
but we are back to the same issue here. So
how are we back?
No.
So this thing you are doing, the way the NDC is talking, and one of their MPs saying he even wrote some letters personally to Akufo-Addo and all of that, he should put the letter on Facebook and let's all read. What is he talking about?
Helen, the NDC call this create, loot and share. And I agree with them because really you don't agree to something and then go back to do your own investigations and then come back to say, okay, let's suspend it because we found out.
This is energy issue. Press up, doom so.
But
what are you talking about?
MPP always find issue when it comes to things that NDC has done in the past. You okay, fine. I mean, I see this as witch hunting as well. It's like, okay, we are perfect. We are perfect than the NDC, so whatever it is that they've done in the past, we must look into everything. This is not the first time they're looking into something concerning NDC.
No.
So as you came into power, didn't you realize that the company PDS They were not ready enough to take on this program.
Exactly. You don't let them
What you don't
grow.
understand
Excuse me.
is that governance or change of
me.
government is not like Otinabo to Mane to VIP taking you to Kumasi as Aphia is going to Kumasi today. Yes, Otine Mane too.
But
You need to. No, what I'm saying is that they needed to do certain background checks here and there, put their people here, bring these documents. We're here when what's the name? Special prosecutor is complaining. Oba what this saying? Documents, bro, obi se memfam. Obi se meto. So it tells you the kind of system we have in this country.
No,
That's trying to find out.
But you sign
has
an
to do
agreement.
with
This
an
is
agreement.
power.
And
You
when-
sign an agreement.
with
Let me
the
show you.
foreign company.
If
You
I-
don't do that because
Because
you
It's
you
what
to
does
give
someone,
you $10,000.
we were in the Doomsday
Aphia.
era even before
Oh,
you
Ghana,
came.
for
We didn't
me,
expect you to
Munyaye.
just create
Rush
some
into
magic
things.
for you. Don't
Rush
really
into
Instead of appreciating this government
no
for seeing the
no.
anomalies
Aphia,
and suspending the
If I
contract,
You
say-
don't
you are
do
here
it today
saying la la
and
la
go
la.
back to the same
Oh.
story. And the whole thing is they didn't. The NDC, the whole thing that you are trying to push it on NDC, they didn't even start.
Nobody is saying anything.
It's like
And
when
now
I
he's
tell
just
you,
calling.
I will loan you $10,000, and then I bring a letter. You haven't seen the money, and yet you go ahead to say,
And
okay,
sign.
and sign that. Okay,
I
if I
have
give
a-
you
I have
10,000,
received
yeah,
the money.
$10,000. I'm taking interest of 5% every month. You haven't seen the money yet.
No.
Okay, fine, but you've accepted that I will take the 5% every month, and you've signed. Agreement is an agreement. I, on the other hand, have to give you the money.
No.
Is it now that you are coming to look into what
Where
you
you
have signed?
find-
and
where you
now?
got your
That
money
five-
from?
eh,
And so what the
5% to
agreement
Kwame
says
and
is
Tiana,
being
Edo
done.
Sudodo.
And I will
Agreement
even
is
go
not an agreement.
back
Talking
and
about.
scrutinize you and say, where did you even make your money from? So it means if you duped somebody to give me that money, then I'm also not paying you because it was a duped money, it was a stolen money. No, that's
Listen,
exactly what
because
you're doing.
NPP thinks they
because
can do
NDC
it.
wanted to resolve the energy issues we were having at the time. They themselves didn't do due diligence.
So who are they
It
blaming
took
now?
Akufo-Addo's
Who are they blaming
administration.
now?
So why would
They
NDC
didn't
hypocritically
do
turn
due
around and
diligence.
say that heads must roll? These heads, they
heads
really
they have to roll.
Because
Heads
they
what
didn't
are they talking
finalize
about?
everything.
Heads
What are they
roll.
talking
They didn't
about? So
finalize
what did they see with the
everything.
IFC to
The
tell
head
them
has to roll.
to make them transaction advices?
The thing is, they didn't finish it. You were the one supposed to finalize everything.
Ah, but you said you're the party in power. You're the party in power. You're the government in power. And you say you can
This
fix
is totally
it.
wrong.
So fix
you
it.
you don't give the right to
Heads
somebody
they-
and go
heads
like,
will
I'm
roll.
going back behind you
Heads
and
will
go and
roll.
scrutinize everything you are doing and make sure even from
All
the
those
scratch,
calling for
you
heads
were
to roll, they should be
clean.
very careful because these heads that's about to
The
roll, it will
MPP
roll
government
very
is
well. We
totally
don't know
wrong
where this
on this
investigation will even lead to.
It's totally wrong on this
don't
one.
know
And
where
setting
this
up
investigation will lead
a
to.
committee for this is even not necessary.
Oh, they're
Because
setting up a committee.
There's already a committee
Wasting money
trying
to set up a
and they are
committee.
traveling
Look at
to.
these girls
And they are
talking.
trying
Is
to
it not the
Qatar.
same person talking about wasteful spending?
Exactly.
Why do you need a committee for
You are
this?
going to pay the
You
people
should
in
fix
that
the
Have you
problem.
seen the experts on the
Oh
committee?
please. Oh please. You see, you
This
are
is not
saying
football,
you
oh.
found something wrong with whatever you people finally agreed to have with someone.
All I know
How
is
do you
that
sign an agreement and
from
go
what
back to,
I have been
to
able to
something you
gather
have
from
signed
this
already?
complex
How?
issue,
The minority has a point on this one
The
because
current
they started and they
Aphia,
didn't finish.
You are
and
the
people
moderator.
fin-
It's like you don't know your position anymore. What I gather from this complex
so
issue is that the current NPP government appears to be on top of its game. That's it. They are too
I
good.
just can't deal with Amma
They are too
because she has to agree with this.
They have that telescopic eye with Wi-Fi,
5G.
5G, very sharp.
And they couldn't do due diligence before signing agreement for contract.
Don't even
What is
this
this?
is my
VIP bus. Government is not
be my-
VIP bus.
No,
That's taking
you
a Fiat to
don't-
Kumasi.
That's how
Why are you announcing the fierce weekend?
Maybe I don't even want someone to know. Or I'm not
Why are
even
you
going.
announcing her weekend?
Why are you talking about me?
Ah, what
So
kind of-
somebody is going somewhere.
Don't mind. The thing is, NDC has every right to say what they are saying. They started this, they didn't end it. You came into power.
Finish
you were supposed. We weren't expecting.
You say you are letting
If it was
Finish
NDC, they would have kept quiet. Like, you know, Ghana will be paying those monies 4 years near you. Because NPP have the balls
But we didn't even
to say that
expect-
we approved of this,
Aphia,
we don't want
listen
it
to what she's
anymore.
saying. NPP has the balls, but you don't have the balls to deal with this issue. Solve it. You don't have the balls to solve it. And you are calling for experts.
Magically, we didn't
You are
expect
calling
the
for
NPP
experts.
to come and change
Yeah,
this one.
do
They
should
so
stop all the
the
talks
day
and
they
do what
came
they
in.
have
So
to
they
do.
had time to go through the things they promised when they were campaigning. They've not done half of it.
Please
But we are
come
not
back
even
with this
complaining.
conversation in
I'm coming
2020
back to
when
it.
we are about to vote. Come back with this
We are
topic
not
and let's
even
discuss.
complaining. So we didn't expect them to magically change the doom. So we knew it was going to take a while, a process. So if you come in and within a year you are able to do it
all
and
this
do
time
it
Akufo-Addo
well,
came. See
then
what you are
it's fine
saying.
because with this way that we are going, and we might end up going back to doom. So. Yes, because
not going
if you
anywhere.
solve the issue half, partly, this issue was solved partly because now those in charge are no more. You are finding fault or there's an issue with
Your
them.
head will roll.
So
Has to roll.
my head is rolling
Your head
already.
has to roll.
My head is
Because
rolling
you
already.
cannot say-
because you deal with the
Yes.
issue from the scratch. You don't go halfway and come back to deal with it.
Halfway how?
Because you have dealt with the
Sankofa
situation.
Echi. Sankofa
Give me your
Echi.
final
How do
Are
you
people
say
talking
you
about?
are so capable, you are called what?
Competent.
Competent, and you
We
are
have
Mr.
the men.
Fix It. You can fix anything.
We
You
have
shouldn't
the
have
men.
even come out. The first time you came out to say, oh, there are loopholes in the agreements between PDS and IFC or whatever. One, stop it. Let it go. Go on by fixing and solving the problem without making all these unnecessary noise.
Nobody is making any noise, so we are suspending
Setting
the
up-
contract. So we
spending
needed
taxpayers'
Ghanaians
money
to know.
to set up committees
Create
and all
looters,
that.
Because that, because
All
Akufo-Addo's
these-
government is
even
transparent.
if they
That's
don't
why
even
you people
have-
are, you
they
are
don't-
exercising that freedom of
They
speech
don't
and those
even
things.
have offices. I won't even give you 1 minute. You've already wasted your
It's
1 minute
exhausted,
already.
India.
Please, this issue was supposed to be dealt with from the scratch. It
With
shouldn't have
scratch.
gotten to this point for them to go back to say they've set up a committee, they are going to deal with it. At the end of the day, in a month, they are going to sort everything out. I don't believe in the 1 month issue. But
Ojide
whatever
Nation.
it is, it has to happen. This thing has to end right here and now.
It's like
You are
I'll
going
buy
for a quick break.
Sorry.
When we come back, you are going straight to Girl Talk.
My name is Novi. The name is Phil.
Iman is the name.
Laugh.
And learn.
What is the biggest animal in the world?
King Kong.
What's the meaning of the I in iPhone?
iTunes.
What is Facebook?
It's a book that you say it on your face.
What is the last book of the Bible?
Methodist.
Your father is a landlord. What will you be?
Land commission.
House owner.
Land Rover. What do we do at the grocery shop?
They play football.
Who is Santa Claus?
Teacher will check you.
Welcome back. We are going straight to the Girl Talk. Today our topic is, for the office, do you feel more comfortable in traditional wear or Western wear? For the office, do you feel more comfortable in traditional wear or Western wear? Which one do you feel comfortable in?
Traditional, baby.
Is it because you're in a
Traditional,
Obviously, you are in one, so it makes you very comfortable.
You know, the sense of patriotism.
Patriotic
Some. It makes you feel you're part. You belong. So even when all these foreigners come and they wear it, they feel localized. They feel like they are Ghanaians.
No,
yeah,
you can feel
you feel
like
African.
that, but you are no one.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
It's okay.
It's just, you know, the saying about what you wear makes you comfortable or your best foot forward. So if you're wearing an African made print or an African wear attire, and yes, you, even if you're not a Ghanaian, you feel like, yeah, yeah, you're here.
You're
So
talking about
that-
tree. We just spoke about tree being.
How do you feel when you
national-
wear ashoke for a wedding, someone's wedding, or then Nigeria kind of you kind of like unconsciously you
feel
start acting like
overdressed.
Nigerians. You start behaving like
feel
Nigerians.
overly
Based
dressed.
on this unconsciously and consciously that we've been psyched. We've been psyched to think that when you wear the Western wear, you are very
Prim
official.
and proper, like behave in a certain way, like
Since Kufuor's time, when what's the name
Africa.
again? Alan introduced this
Friday.
Friday way. Go to all these government institutions, government agencies.
On Friday.
On Fridays, as a Fibia TSU. The fact that they are wearing the traditional wear, no, and no crama half day, any Jumani any half piece, just a Ghana, just a some who be
it's no more like office.
of no,
It's-
nothing
it
is
feels
official
like
anymore.
I'm in a church. I'm in my comfortable
Zone.
You know, that kind of thing.
And so they
it's like,
behave anyhow and all of that. And look at how can you have a teller in a bank, or you need to be smart. So, you know, there are certain environments that you need to be smart. Okaba no slit. What do you mean?
But you can.
And sometimes
but they
the colors are too.
Yeah,
The prints
for
are
the day.
too colorful.
For the
the
day,
prints
yes.
for the day. Just
Sometimes
like
it's so sunny. You look at somebody and,
And
like you can't look
all
at the
these
person very well. It's like,
bold colors.
"Hey,
What is
please
going
tone
on
it
That
down."
is what makes you African. That is what makes you Ghanaian. We are colorful.
So it's not just
Africa
what
is
we
a
put on
colourful
ourselves.
place.
If you want to be patriotic, it starts from your mind. When you decide not to wear my, hey, where's my
You're not trying. You wish. You wish. Look at her talking about. Aphia, look at my natural hair. Look at my natural hair. And look
don't
at her
mind
talking
your
about
wish.
westernized.
You
And then
wish.
she's in the next.
You
she's-
wish.
Today
But
I'm
the
all
thing is,
African.
You
Today I'm
can't
all
be an
African.
engineer. You
Today
can't
I'm
be
all
an
African.
engineer and wear
My hair,
By
baby.
slate.
and wear cover and slate to the, you know, to say you're too
sides.
oily.
No.
You can't. You understand?
Yes.
You're called offshore near day. You can't wear your cover and slate.
Let's
Yeah,
wear
Joe.
the jeans and the
You need to be
pants and
smart and
that.
all of that. So and then the patterns until GTP and all those Akosomo whatever, until they do something about the patterns and the colors and all those things.
But there are colors that
And
are
then
not
it comes
that
to the
loud.
textile industry until they also come up with, you know, sometimes you can pick the Western
But these days they are doing
designs
very
and
well.
add those things
They are
to
doing
it
very,
and
they even they sew jackets with they sew pants. They sew
Look at what
their
I'm wearing.
pants, you
This-
guys
this-
are-
this is
they
not
get the
this is not a
I
kimono.
know, you know, they
But
get
it's when I travel with this because it can stand anywhere.
all weather. Yeah.
You get it. I mean, they are becoming very creative.
There is room
very,
for
very big up to
improvement.
my designer, though.
There is room
And
for
this-
improvement.
This has been very old. This is very old. And
Yes,
look at how
that's
and
one
it comes
thing
with the
looks.
mind.
That's one
You
thing with the
can-
African
Afro
print. It
prints.
never gets old. It
Yes.
never gets out of date,
Yeah.
out of fashion. No, you can
Like,
always
if you
pick
feel
it
Meanwhile,
up
what
one
you're
day.
wearing
so
can
watch.
fade off.
If you refuse to use
Well, by
this-
the way, what are you wearing
please,
today?
Please. And
Eat,
we
Reach,
come
Rise
back. No,
Foundation or
please.
something.
The most important part is the cost of the fabric.
That's
These
another
prints we
factor.
see are not cheap.
Yes.
But me,
What
me
has
fa
the
cantaman
the
to
cost
say, please,
of-
please.
Of what has the cost of the fabric
but
got to do with
things
you
made
looking
in,
good?
Made in no, but not everybody can afford it, and it puts pressure on people.
That's why you have grades.
no, but it puts pressure
With
on
the
people.
GTP, they're grades.
People go
great.
to Cantamanto, and I know they can get as low as 1 cedi worth of shirt.
That is great. That's the lowest grade.
No problem.
Even
but
you
what
can-
I'm
even
trying
in
to say
force.
is, you can't get the
They have
lowest grade as
story
one
text.
1 cedi.
And they have force and casa.
But I'm trying to tell you,
Honeymoon,
you can never. Amma, don't be silly.
Today,
But the thing is, my dear, just look
I
at
think
me.
we came to joke
Eh?
today.
Just look at me. My jean and my I'm looking all smart and all, you know, ready for
No,
work.
but you can equally wear jeans with a
African print.
My dear, why wouldn't you use your African print for the trouser? Why do you want to?
Oh yes, you
But
can.
that's what
Yes,
I'm
you
saying, you
can.
can
So I'm
still
more
use it.
comfortable here.
If I
but
want
you
trouser, I
still
can
be
get you. You can do
comfortable in the
trouser.
prints
this one that
In
you
a
are wearing
pants
like
form.
this. Let's say P, run to the gate and come. I'll still come back and meet you here.
Oh, really? Do
I'll still
you
come
want
back
to go
and meet
live
you here
on this
because
one?
the 3 yards behind you will be
Please,
flying
can
like
the cameraman just start already so that we
Okay,
just
let me
tell
see
them
what
to
people
run?
are
You want to
saying.
go
They'll start
live
with
on
me.
this one?
Okay, I have Ivanov. Hey, Ivanov Daseya. I will only feel cool if I can go to work in my boxes. Really?
What?
Eh?
He's
Of
just
Pluto,
out of
Pluto car
place.
is no more on the solar system.
Linda Ajua Dumaku says, personally, I do both. However, I think it should be based on the environment and your work ethics. My work allows both. My work allows both. Any day, anywhere, anyhow. I have George Krobia Santi saying traditional.
Yeah.
Papaya Eje Ashon says traditional.
Yeah.
Akuya Akila Admens says casual wear. I have indomitable prestige. I prefer Western wear. God gift Eddie Smith says Western. The comments will keep coming in, but let's continue with our
Aphia.
discussion.
Even, do you know one thing I like about this government, this president, is his African wear. And it looks like every ministerial office, they are all in African wear. And when you see the shirts, they show the long sleeve shirt that you would have bought from that brand, it's not Polo, this is Polo, the brand Lacoste. No, the long sleeves. Is it Lacoste? Lacoste have long sleeves as well. Next, and the lights.
Okay.
Yes, they will show the same thing for you with an African print, and you will still look and feel official.
Like our boss.
You know, chairman is always in African wear. It's so beautiful. It makes you feel that patriotism. And when even you're working, you're even creative. Your mind is all thinking about Ghana first, Ghana first, Ghana first, Ghana first. You know? So for me, African prints any day, anytime.
Finish.
Today Amma is not good. Why is Amma? Amma is so not good. Give me my paper.
I see people seeing government officials and the president of Ghana in his suit.
No, but he's in this jacket because
Okay, so there are reasons where he went to.
Most of
so
the
if you are
time,
going out there to tell people or to
the-
talk to people about Ghana Beyond Aid and you cannot wear that African print to that place.
Aphia, one of your
What are you
comments
telling
came
us?
in saying that it depends on the environment you're in.
Oh,
Maybe that environment is a very cold weather that he needs a suit and, you know, for some security reason, put in some protective,
Your 1 minute is
bulletproof,
up anyway.
something inside and then
Yeah,
cover
for
up with a
protection.
suit.
So this is your flyover. You can't wear bulletproof.
I'm done with Amma. Today I don't know. I don't so in Friday mood. It's not even funny.
This is your flyover. You cannot wear bulletproof in
It's
it.
a wrap for the day.
Were we not here when the
Amma,
Kufado wore the
how are you
yellow
going to
smog
spend your
and the yellow boots?
Amma, how are you going to spend your weekend?
Yeah. Ashtown is the... I'll see you...
Amma is the one going to Kumasi, not me.
And you know,
Helen, how are you going
soon.
to spend your
I
weekend?
am working, I'm on set. There's no weekend for me right now.
Oh, all the best. I'll be all over the place. I'm not going to tell you where I'll be because Amma is making too much noise about where
Let
I'm
me
going
wish
to.
my friend a speedy recovery.
Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a wrap for the day. Enjoy the rest of our programs and find a place to go this weekend. Have a good evening.